This is literally a fragrance suited for somebody royal. So let's review Thameen Royal Sapphire. Hey, what's good guys? Hunter here and welcome back to the channel where I upload weekly fragrance contests. You know what to do. Hit the subscribe button down below and also make sure to follow me over on my Instagram page. So today we are reviewing another fragrance from the house of Thameen, which I've actually been really enjoying this house as of lately, and I do own quite a few. And Royal Sapphire was one that's always caught my attention, so I finally have a bottle in the collection and gonna be reviewing it to you. And let's see if that expectation lived up to what I was expecting. But before we talk about this fragrance, I do wanna shout out So Avant-Garde for sending this one over for a review. Of course, that's not gonna change my opinions about it. If I like it, I like it. If I don't, I don't. And you already know I hooked you guys up with a discount code on So Avant-Garde. Use code HUNTER10. That will save you 10% off anything on their website. Now let's go with some information. Thameen Royal Sapphire was launched in 2019, so it has been around for a few years at the time of this recording. I also believe when it first came out in 2019, it was originally launched in a red bottle, but now they changed it back to a blue to kind of follow suit with the rest of the line. The retail price, only size Royal Sapphire comes in, which is 50 ml, is going to run you $285, but you can use my code. That will save you 10% off of that price, which is pretty expensive, but obviously it is a niche brand. Thameen's very well known, one of the best kind of British niche houses on the market, but it's kind of strange because I believe Royal Sapphire is one of the only fragrances that you can only get in a 50 ml. Most of the ones come in 50 and 100. The concentration with this one is an extrait de parfum, which is, of course, the highest of perfume oils used in a fragrance. So you know this stuff should be potent, and at least you're getting your money's worth when it comes to the concentration of it. The perfumer, I did do my research, but I came up short. I'm not sure who the nose was behind Royal Sapphire. So if anybody watching this has any clue, leave that comment down below. But with all the information out of the way, let's look at the packaging and presentation you will get with Royal Sapphire now. Alright, so take a look at the box, which does come in this nice, very royal blue colorway. Thameen London, Royal Sapphire. On the bottom, you do have some of your information as well as a batch code. On the side, you do have your pull tab. On the back, you will find your information as well as a barcode. Nothing on top, and it does slide out like so. Where you will find this black Thameen box, and your bottle will be housed in this nice kind of velvet cutout, which is a very nice touch, as well as some information on that side. So all in all, beautiful presentation with the box. Let's look at the bottle now. So take a look at the bottle, which does also come in this nice royal blue color scheme, which is kind of their signature at this point. In gold, you got Thameen Royal Sapphire. On the bottom, you will have your information as well as probably a batch code with Thameen fragrance embossed in glass. Nothing on the back. On top, you got that Thameen logo. Then inside, nothing in the atomizer, or nothing inside the cap. On top of the atomizer, also got that Thameen logo, and this is a magnetic cap. So all in all, beautiful bottle presentation as well. In the top, you have mandarin, orange, and bergamot. In the mid, you have orange blossom and jasmine. And in the base, you have amber, oak moss, patchouli, and woody notes. And this will be classified as a citrus floral. So let's spray this and test out these atomizers. Very nice distribution that is pressurized, so you can choose if you want to spray a little bit or a lot, which I appreciate. So let's go ahead and remind myself of Royal Sapphire. So right away in the opening, you are going to get this combination of bergamot and that mandarin orange. So it's coming across very citrusy. The bergamot is there, but what stands out the most is that juicy, almost fruity mandarin orange note that just smells so natural, so refreshing. Just an extremely well done mandarin note right away when you apply this stuff. But I will be honest, the opening is probably my favorite part of this fragrance, because once we make our way into the mid is where this one takes a turn. And if you know me and follow my channel, you know I'm not the biggest fan of white florals whenever it's done in the mid of a fragrance, and you are going to get at that exact vibe in Royal Sapphire, because you are going to get this orange blossom, which does go hand in hand with the mandarin orange kind of citrus note in the opening. But orange blossom is probably one of my least favorite florals. It comes across so powdery, especially in here. And then you're also going to get that fresh kind of green, earthy jasmine note, which jasmine is probably my favorite white floral if I had to choose. But the orange blossom just overtakes the jasmine completely in this DNA. So be prepared and expect those powdery white florals in this fragrance if you do sample it or get a bottle for yourselves, because it's the most dominant thing in here. But at least with the white florals, it does bring this luxurious kind of elegant touch, and it's what makes this fragrance come across very regal and royal, because those two notes just make it smell very sophisticated. And it's crazy too, because this actually reminds me of a designer fragrance that recently just came out, which is Yves Saint Laurent's Myself, which also has a bergamot opening in a very powdery white floral mid, just like the way it's done in Royal Sapphire. But of course, this came out a few years before myself. But if you like myself, which I know a lot of you guys do, me personally, not the biggest fan of it. I did review that as well. But if you like that DNA, you will absolutely like this. It's kind of a niche take on myself, in my opinion. Finally, making our way into the base of Royal Sapphires, we're going to be left with this very warm, balsamic amber note, along with this earthy oak moss kind of combination. I'm not really getting much patchouli or any woodiness from the cedar wood either. Just those two primary notes combined together is what you're going to be left with for the majority of the life. So this fragrance pretty much takes you through 3 stages. It opens up very citrusy, a little bit fruity, which is good. Dries down to the mid where it comes to very white floral and powdery, which is not good in my opinion. And then dries down to this pleasant kind of ambery oak moss kind of combo. I would say it is a pretty complex fragrance that does smell very luxurious. And I know a lot of you guys love elegant white florals, so if you're one of those people, definitely worth sampling or checking out or even getting a bottle possibly. Just for me personally, not something I'm going to reach for very often, maybe once in a blue moon if I'm going to some kind of nice event where I want to smell a little bit more elegant. This might be a go-to choice for me in that kind of situation, but on a daily or any a weekly, absolutely not, and definitely not one of my favorites from Thameen, even though I believe this is probably one of the more popular ones. Just really doesn't do it for me. So for the best seasons to rock Royal Sapphire, if you do get a bottle, I believe this is going to work the best in the fall, spring, and summertime. Not really the winter time. There's nothing really too dark or dense or deep about it to pull off in a cold winter, but absolutely the fall, spring, and summer because it is uplifting, bright, citrusy, and floral. But you also do get that ambery, oak moss, earthy dry down, which can be pulled off in the fall time as well. So those 3 primary seasons is the best for Royal Sapphire. So for occasion, I believe this is very formal. This is an extremely elegant, formal suited kind of fragrance. Nothing casual, nothing playful or fun about this scent profile, which is why I said I might wear this once in a blue moon to a nice kind of formal event. Not something that really smells like you should be wearing shorts or jeans or a t-shirt or a hoodie with it because like I said, it smells very royal. Something suited for a king or a queen. But of course, no fragrance is suited for one particular occasion. All fragrances can be worn all year round to any event, any occasion. But I'm just trying to paint you guys the best picture. When you picture something smelling royal like this, you absolutely want to be dressed up very nice. The kind of fragrance, when I spray on myself, I instantly turn into a king. And once you spray this one, you get that king mindset on, you're going to basically rule the day. For a gender, this one is targeted as unisex, which I believe the entire collection from Thameen, London is unisex. However, some are going to lean more masculine, some lean more feminine. In this particular case, in my opinion, I think this one's unisex, leaning on the feminine side, just because those white florals in the mid come across very dominant, which does, of course, smell a little bit more feminine. But still, at the end of the day, it's very much unisex. A guy can absolutely rock this one. I had no problems rocking this one either. It's not a complete feminine fragrance by any means, but I just personally think when I smell this one, I would much rather smell this one on my woman, with her smelling like a princess or a queen. That's the vibe this gives off, and I do think suits a woman a little bit more, which is another reason why I won't be reaching for this one that often. So ladies, if you ever wanted to smell like a queen, definitely pick up a bottle of this stuff because it will do it. And for age groups, it kind of follows suit with everything else we've been talking about, being very formal, being suited for like a king and a queen, so it does lean on the mature side of things. There's not one thing about this fragrance that leans youthful by any means. And most of the time, powdery white florals always lean a little bit more mature. Whenever I smell that kind of scent profile, I think of a more mature, kind of elegant person. This one's no different. But if you are somebody a little bit younger, maybe in late teens, early 20s, mid 20s, and you like this kind of scent profile, absolutely rock it. There's nothing wrong with that. But I just picture myself, anybody maybe 30 and up, really enjoying this one and kind of suited the best for it. Heck, maybe even 40 and up. That's how mature this fragrance comes across. Now, wrapping the review off, talking on the performance you should expect with Royal Sapphire. Now, this is, of course, an extrait de parfum. And it absolutely does wear like what you would expect an extrait to wear like, because when it comes to longevity, I got around that 8-hour mark, possibly up to that 10-hour mark of very good longevity on skin. So if you apply this stuff on skin, just be prepared to be stuck with powdery white florals for up to that 10-hour mark, because them suckers come in so quick after the first kind of initial spray. And also when it comes to the projection of this one, it's very moderate, which means about average projection. It's not going to fill up a room, but it's also not going to be very close to like your intimate scent bubble either, which means some people will smell you. It does project fairly nicely, and when somebody smells this around you, they're going to step out of your way because you're going to smell like a king or a queen, and they're going to kind of give you that space and respect you. Now, I'm just messing with you guys, even though it does give off that smell of somebody of importance, because this isn't like your Dior Sauvage or Ariana Grande cloud fragrance, which most of the people are kind of wearing. So when your average person smells something like this, they're going to smell money and somebody that has some kind of status. So be wary of that. But anyways, that's gonna do it for my review of Thameen Royal Sapphire. Let me know down below if you tried this one. What are your thoughts? If you agree with me on my opinions about it, and also what is your favorite fragrance from Thameen, and if you have any recommendations, leave that down below. But besides that, leave a like, subscribe if you guys haven't already, and of course you already know, I'll see all of you back here in my next upload. Take care, everybody.